All right, welcome, Long Island, to the loud majority, to everybody who is going to be watching this very special interview edition of We Will Not Comply. Obviously, you know that's our morning podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. And you can also find our podcast, We Will Not Comply, on any podcasting platform, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're there. We're everywhere. Search We Will Not Comply. We are joined by an incredible guest. And I don't want to call him a hidden gem on Long Island because he's rather well known. You may have seen him on Instagram. You may have heard some of his music. So I gave away a little bit that I am sitting next to a musician. He's an independent patriot rapper. His name is ENJETIC. He hails from right here, our own backyard, Long Island, New York. So we're going to let him say hello to ENJETIC. He's got a new song coming out. It's called Uncle Sam. We're going to listen to that in a couple of minutes. But ENJETIC, welcome to the studio. I know you walked in and I was kind of a little sleepy, right? I was in Joe Biden mode, but it's okay. It's been a long week. But how the hell are you, man? How's it going?
I'm good, man. You already know, man. You were ready to go, right? When I walked in the door, you jumped right up. You're like, yeah, all right, let's do this.
It was a good wake-up call. It was like, I was like, boom.
He said, boom, let's go.
I was so tired, but I thank you for coming out. I know we were originally supposed to meet yesterday, and then we had a school board meeting over in Rockville Center, but it was a really, really interesting and important thing. Now, I had been told about your music a little while ago, and I get excited when I hear that somebody is doing rap and R&B and is singing about the right values in America. When you talk about rap, maybe it's MAGA rap, maybe it's just being a patriot, being proud of your country. You think about guys like Forgiato Blow, you think about guys like Bryson Gray, and then you think about guys like ENJETIC, who are right here in our backyard. He's right here. He's one of Long Island's own. You have been doing music since you're 12 years old. What, when you were 12, prompted you to start, getting into music, getting into rap, writing music or whatever? Just explain to everybody, because we've only been around a year. And one of the messages that I love to stress to our followers, to our people, is that if you want to do something, you can do it. You're in the United States of America. You can chase the American dream. You're guaranteed the right to pursue happiness. So what was it for you that got you started back when you were 12 years old?
Well, my father was in the industry since I was a kid, so I used to just watch him all the time with a lot of artists that he had that was actually very well-known artists. And I got into it at the same time, too, man. Freedom of speech, and then knowing that I can actually, prospect doing my craft. So that's all I really wanted to do, and give everybody a vision what I see in the world. That's why when you're going to hear Uncle Sam, you're going to hear how I feel about my country and how much I love my country no matter what anybody says, because that's my own opinion.
And, we mentioned, we were talking before we started interviewing, that, and look, it's not an easy thing to do these days, to come in the defense of the 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump. It's not easy to come to his defense. It's not easy to vouch for him. It's not easy for a lot of people to come out and say they support him. And that's kind of like how we got started. It was the message that I had sent, and Kevin had sent, and Heather had sent, the other co-founders of our group, right, to our people, to our followers, and to Long Island, to New York, and to the country, is that if you support, and I think you'll support my opinion on this, if you support Donald Trump, or if you support Joe Biden, or if you support Bernie Sanders, or if you support Ted Cruz, whoever it is, this is the United States of America. You're allowed, you said you have your right to your opinion. Exactly. You're allowed to support who do you want to support, as long as you do it, peacefully and within the boundaries of the law. There was a problem was other groups, left wing, left of center, happened to be a little violent, happened to be a little, they happened to be people who wanted to intimidate us into silence, were having their way by screaming and yelling in the streets. But it's still America, and it's still okay to voice your opinion. How do you feel about something like that?
I just look at the people that did it, and I was like, what's the point? You're hurting your own people. You're hurting your own country. You're hurting everything that we stand for and every belief. Yeah, every country has their dark past, but how are we going to sit here and how are we going to change a whole country together if we're not together, if we don't show peace, unity. It's like he can't have his opinion if he likes Donald Trump. I have to look at him a certain way. I never understood that. I'm like, how is that? Is because the media is manipulating a lot of people to see something that's not really there? That's how I look at it. I look at it like, whoa. I'm like, this is crazy. Now we live in an era where it's like a Gestapo. They're just showing you the good things about what one person's doing and then trying to destroy somebody else. I don't understand it. You, as an American, should have your own opinion no matter what it is. If you're not causing mayhem or not disrespecting the law in any which way, you should have your own opinion no matter what. You shouldn't let other people dictate your own opinion because you're scared to come out and actually be like, listen, I'm proud of being American. I stand by my flag. I stand by my forefathers, and I stand by my country. If you don't do that, then you got to look at yourself and take it back because you know what? You had a lot of people die just for your freedom. No matter what. No matter what race you are, people still died for your freedom to keep this country alive. And that's all I got to say.
I mean, think about freedom, think about liberty, the Constitution, the things that we've seen under attack, right? You just really hit on a lot of notes with regards to freedom of speech. If you're afraid to stand up for your country, and other people went out there and died for your country, right? If you're there shouldn't be a fear. Now, we call ourselves the loud majority because we believe that there are more people who think like us than who think like the other side across the country. You know, the term was silent majority, right? And so I said, well, if we're in the majority, if we outnumber them, why are we afraid to speak up? Where is this fear coming from? Where is this intimidation coming from? Where did we lose that bit of the American spirit that was born in 1776 that said, if you see something wrong, you know, it is your duty to make sure that the law is just. And that kind of went away. That took a back seat. Everyone kind of decided, you know, what we're going to do is we're going to let them have their parties in the streets and then we'll come back and vote them out in the polls. But that wasn't what was happening, was it? We started seeing rights getting whittled away. We saw COVID happen. And eventually, enough was enough. You're a musician. You do shows and tours. Mm-hmm. How are you impacted by the closures and the restrictions from COVID?
You know what? It's hard. But at the end of the day, man, I knew just keep on trying to push my music out. You know, certain avenues opened up even more because of COVID, and then being pushed away was, you know, so it was like a 50-50 because more people will listen to your music because they were stuck at home streaming and listening to the music. But it really killed like the interaction that you would have with fans, and I feel like a lot of times, really looking at that time period of COVID, I always believe that COVID, honestly, you shouldn't be wearing, man. You shouldn't be doing any of that because it's a disease. It's going to hit you no matter what. It's like the Black Plague. It had to get out of the system. People have to get hit. When you get hit with a disease, you don't run away from the disease. You got to sit there and become immune to the disease because, you know, if all these people are saying that, oh, okay, they're about our health and they really care, why don't they ever say, hey, you know what? It's a cold, right? Wouldn't our bodies, if let's play the obvious, our bodies will adapt to it, no matter what. It might not, our body's gonna adapt to it. That's why when they're like, oh, this restriction, I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, you guys are just full of it, man. You guys, the vaccine shot, okay, you get the vaccine shot. I had to get it. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, nah, but I had to get it to go to these venues and go perform. It is what it is. People are still getting sick off the vaccine shot. So it is what it is now, you know, and the restrictions I feel are just crazy. Stay six feet away. 6 feet away? Whoa. When is anything going to do with 6 feet away? Or you wearing a mask? I thought like masks will suffocate you more. Because they figured out finally putting people inside the machine killed them more than helped them.
Oh, the ventilators. Yeah, you're right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like, you know, people don't speak up because they get scared of being run out. No, I don't care. Honest to God, I'm a patriot no matter what. If a real person that said that he's an American patriot right now is listening to this, he's going to sit there and go, dang, man, he hit a lot of points. You know why I hit a lot of points is because you got people scared because they're scared of their positions. They're scared of something called entitlement. When they lose their entitlement, they don't know how to react. So when I take a minute to really say, you know what? throw every title out and become a human being and realize what we need to do. And that's every country, that's everybody, that's anybody in America. Until we sit here and actually try to unify each other and try to make it straight, it's going to keep getting worse no matter what. Look at your gas. Look at all the prices going up. And everyone's like, well, you know, it's going to get better. It's not COVID. It's a game, mind manipulate, that they're playing with you. Start thinking like a real human being. Start thinking about being a real leader, stepping up for your communities. Let's go. Let's do this, man. And shout out to the loud majority, because you know what? We have to start being more louder for them to hear us.
We appreciate that, of course, and that's our biggest motto is a government that cannot hear you cannot fear you, and a government that doesn't fear. And I'm not saying fear your life, right? We're not talking about violence. And I know you're not a violent guy, and it's not. We're not promoting violence. But when I say a government fearing its constituents or fearing its citizens, we mean like a normal person who's working a 9-to-5 job would essentially fear repercussions from their boss, right? If I do something at work that my boss doesn't like, I know that I may have a conversation or he may fire me, right? If it gets bad enough. Well, I think it's time, and maybe you agree, maybe you don't, that the people, we're the boss. The government works for us. You have to understand.
Read the Constitution.
Exactly. Everyone has to understand. Anybody who got elected into office, how'd they get there? Did they get there by themselves, or did we put them there?
You put them there, but people don't sit there and go, wait a second. It says that run by the people, by the people. Wait a minute. What is going on here? So now we got to listen to this person right here got this much amount of money, so this person could basically push this chest right here. No, I don't listen. I'm real. I'm honest. I'm going to tell everybody how it is.
That's for sure.
Until we sit here, until we realize what is happening, we're going to stay in the same situation that we're in now. You know why a bunch of people never go and speak up? Because they're scared. They're scared of losing their entitlement, like I keep saying. Until real leaders step up, this country will change. Until the youth step up and push out all of this, we know what's happening. If you're sitting there and getting a wall beside you, you don't know. You're scared about talking. This is what gets me mad. You're scared about talking about the 45th president. Everybody, oh, well, you know, he done this and that. Let me explain something to you. To all you people, how good were we living? No, really, how good were we living? I don't care if he's Democrat or Republican. If he was Democrat,
say the same thing.
Same exact thing. I'm trying to say to everybody, how good was America? How good we living? All it was a bunch of people who put stuff in people's minds to make people not like each other. That's it.
It's true.
Listen, at the same time, my boy said the best thing I ever heard, and he's in the Army. You know what he told me? He goes, I don't care if Donald Trump was president. I don't care if Obama was president. We're here to fight for this country, and that's our general. And I looked at him, and I was like, damn, when you really put that inside perspective, you really got to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how many kids now, when they hear the Star Spangled Banner, have that chill in their stomach? Like, whoa. Like, think of, like, people don't realize, like, whoa, like, right when the bombs were hitting, that went off. And that showed freedom. Every time I hear that, my heart literally starts clicking like, yeah, that's the country I'm from. That's my representative right here.
It's cool because you're a musician, and Francis Scott Key, who wrote the Star Spangled Banner, you know, he wrote it imprisoned on a British ship watching Fort McHenry get bombed. And so music to me has always been something. There's a couple of guitars on the side of the room. I play loosely. You know what I mean? It's always been something that to me has been, I mean, look, John Lennon, right? He writes the song Imagine. That's all about unity. You know, the Beatles, you see music sometimes transcends things. You see now, I mean, even now, the way Donald Trump uses music, right? Lee Greenwood, God bless the USA. And now people have a problem with God bless the USA. The YMCA, you know, the Village People, which, you know, they're, homosexuals.
Shout out
right?
to the Good Village People.
But that's the LGBTQ community, and now all of a sudden you can't play the YMCA without that being associated with Donald Trump. I don't understand why everything's got to be tied back to the boogeyman. Like you said, everyone's afraid at this point when you bring up Trump, they're like ashamed to put their hat on again, their MAGA hat. And I think that's ridiculous. I think, like you said, look back at it. I don't know if you've been to a gas station recently. You said the prices are going up. I think something that I'm seeing more often than these high gas prices, I don't know if you're seeing them, are the stickers that say, I did that, with Joe Biden pointing at the prices. Have you seen any of that?
Every day. Every day.
I think it's funny.
We saw that. First time I ever saw that, I was like, damn. I was like, but you know what? I gotta be honest with you, man. And the way that the country needs to get rid of these so-called people that are up on top. I don't care, even if it's a Republican. We see it as people. Listen, me and her watch Fox News, and then we put on CNN, because we want to hear the two comparisons. I always tell her, listen, let me hear what they're going to say here, and then let me hear what they're going to say there. You know why? Because then I make my own. I like Newsmax.
Yeah, me
you really
too.
want to know?
Big fan.
Because Newsmax, when you put on CNN, you're going to hear this one. When you hear Fox News, you're going to hear this. When you hear Newsmax, they get to both of them. And they give you the real opinions. It's not hating on Fox News. Fox News is cool, or CNN. That's their own thing. But I'm an artist. I know how it is to paint a picture, and I know how to control people's emotions. And that's what these news and these medias do, and these journalists do. They control the emotions. You can do it the right way, or you can do it the wrong way. Like I told you, I can make a record about some guy you never met, and I said how much I can't stand them, but because you like the song, you like the melody, and you like the beat, and it gives you a certain feeling, you're going to roll right with me.
Yeah, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to go, you know what? I don't like that guy either. I'm not a fan either. I don't like it. It's not cool. And it's all because I listened to a song and I like the song and I like the way it is. And you're mentioning how that can essentially control the way people behave.
Yeah.
Think about the beginning of the pandemic, and I point this out all the time. 15 days to slow the spread. That's what they called it. We were only supposed to be wearing masks for 15 days. I have kept count every single day. Today is day 635 of 15 days to slow the spread. Okay? 635 of 15 days to slow the spread. And think of what the media had. And you had mentioned this and how this worked to your advantage. It also worked to their advantage. You mentioned that certain doors closed for you and certain avenues opened for you during the pandemic when there were all these restrictions. The media had everybody right where they wanted them. Okay? There was you couldn't go to school. You were told you couldn't go to work unless you were essential, which is also ridiculous because everybody who has a job, every job is essential. Those people hold those jobs because those companies need those employees to hold those jobs. Those people work those jobs because they've got families to feed. They need those jobs for income to feed their family, to survive, to pay their bills, to do et cetera, et cetera. The media at the beginning of the pandemic had everybody couldn't go to work, couldn't go to school, couldn't go out, couldn't go to the supermarket, had to wear a mask, 6 feet apart. You had to basically walk around in a bubble, hand sanitizer everywhere you go. You don't touch your face. You got to do this nonsense with the elbow. It was this whole insane thing, and it whipped everybody up into a frenzy to the point where, think about how ridiculous this is, what I'm about to say to you. There were people who decided it was necessary to buy 90-some-odd rolls of toilet paper to make it through 15 days. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think you might have a problem, with COVID, all right? I don't know. There are certain people I know that are going to watch it. They have people who have died from it, and my thoughts and prayers are with you, right? It's not to say that this virus isn't serious, but if you need 96 rolls of toilet paper over the course of 15 days, I think you might have a bigger problem than COVID, but the media got their way. They got people afraid. They got them whipped up. The same way, because they had nothing to do. The same way now, all of a sudden, more people were able to listen to your music. The difference is you used your platform responsibly. You're trying to bring people together. They're trying to drive people apart. Think about it, all the way down to social distancing. Is social distancing bringing people together? Does distance bring people together? No, it doesn't. Does big tech censoring half the stories that come out there bring people together? No, it doesn't. Speaking of big tech and speaking of censorship, so you're on Instagram, okay? How have they treated you? Have you been hit with anything over there?
Well, the thing is, I did an anti-vaccine song.
But wait, hold on a second. You did an anti-vaccine song,
yeah.
But you're vaccinated.
I had to be. Yeah.
That's okay. I don't know. It's your choice.
That was the name of the song.
There you go.
When I made that song, right? True story. The engineer was like, because I did the first one ever. I put Trump's name. I put Donald Trump talking. I put Doctor. What's that guy's name?
Fauci
talking.
Dr. Fauci.
I put people who were scared to even get the vaccine, and then reasons why they were scared to get the vaccine. But at the end of the day, I said we all Americans and we got a choice. That was the name of the record. We Have a Choice. It hit multi-millions on SoundCloud, because I put it on SoundCloud, because I'm like, I'm not going to make people pay for this information because this is not right. And I actually did a big rally in Manhattan, and I actually performed it, and everybody went nuts over it. It was actually, guess where it was, and you're going to die laughing.
Go for it.
Bruce Springsteen's opening.
Really?
I performed there with all of the big, huge dudes.
And Bruce Springsteen is no conservative either.
And he gave me the dirtiest look
I'm sure.
ever.
I'm sure he
But
did.
he was like being all, oh, well, you know, it was cool. All of a sudden, these big bodyguards came up. And all of a sudden, I was like, damn. I was like, you were just sitting there talking when it's like 2 seconds like a normal person when we were talking. Okay, Bruce.
Right.
You got it. You got it. And then my homegirl cursed called the governor of New Jersey,
Phil Murphy.
right in front of his face, like right here in front of his face, the F-bomb.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and his face was like, and I'm like, oh my God, here we go. And then I performed a little bit of it, and then the cop cut it off. I'm like, seriously, man? But all the news, they took it. Everybody took it. Then they did an interview with me on Fox, not Fox, Fox 5. They did an interview. They go, so yeah, the vaccine song, blah blah blah. How was it? Da da da. Yeah, how'd you come up with it? I said, because people just need a choice, and all of a sudden, click.
Off it goes. Off it goes. Unbelievable. You know, it's unbelievable because, you know, you talk about all the time, the liberals, they like to talk about pro-choice, my body, my choice, all these different things. You come out literally saying things that they say every single day, granted about a different case, but it's true. You want to get vaccinated, that's your choice. You got vaccinated, you had to, it's for your career, that's your choice. I don't care. Like, the thing is, there are people that, because I'm not vaccinated, would never enter this room. They would never sit in the chair you're sitting in. They'd never be as close to me as you are, despite the fact that I've had COVID already, I got antibodies, etc. You know, and on the other side of things, there are people who think that because you're vaccinated, you're shedding something. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I really don't care, right? Because I've had all this stuff, and I'm fine with it. Like, it is what it is, right? I believe it's everybody's choice to do what they think is best for themselves, for their kids, etc. I believe in your message, which is unity. You know, we were talking a little bit again before we started recording here and started the interview about a little bit about, you know, critical race theory and how that divides people also. Because what's happening is, you know, and you had mentioned it. Why don't we just go back to the old curriculum? Why did we change it? Because I went through school and I didn't hate black people. I went through school and I didn't hate anybody who was a different race or color than me. I was taught that everybody was created equal. All of us would be, you know, or live in the greatest country in the world. We're in one nation under God, and the next word in the Pledge of Allegiance is indivisible, right? Unity. So, you know, how do you think the best way, because you're a musician, you reach people. Yeah. People will go out on the street, they sing your songs. They'll speak your songs. They'll share their songs. You have the ability, much like, you know, we do too on the political spectrum of, you know, where are we voting, what kind of legislation, what's responsible, what's irresponsible. But what do you, if you could be in control of the entire playbook right now, how would you attempt to bridge the divide between left and right? And I'm not saying I want to shake hands with communists, but I know there's a lot of reasonable left-wingers out there who think I'm a racist. I'm sure there's a bunch of reasonable left-wingers out there who think you're some sort of radical. And they're going to really think that because you're on an interview with me, and they're going to, oh, he's with that crazy guy.
You know what I'm going to tell him? Put it on.
That's it. So how would you bring back
when
unity?
You're supposed to be a leader, and you're supposed to sit there, and you're supposed to actually help, no matter what. I'll talk like a politician right here, my constituents. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to run to one side and just stay on one side instead of being like, come on, let's go over here. Let's work together. No matter what party you're in, no matter where you're at in your head, this man right here is speaking on his opinion. I'm gonna say this right now. He's speaking on what he believes. Have respect for it no matter what. Because nobody's sitting here trying to feed you anything this man's believing or coming to your door and making you basically, that's communism. Coming to your door and making you, well, let me just retract quick. I seen inside the United Nations when I was doing stuff and helping a couple of my friends out of the United Nations, and I seen places that you really gonna say that are communist. Not because of nothing with the United Nations, nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying they came from real communist countries, okay? And you couldn't even sit there and even say 2 words about anything without being in jail. So before you sit here and say this man or this person's racist or this person's messed up, you still got freedom. You still can speak. You still can look at your family. I don't want to hear anymore, oh, well, energetic. Good. You know what? If you believe that, that's fine. Keep it to yourself. And if you don't, put it on social media. Let everybody see. Let everyone make an opinion. That's your own opinion. That's realness. That's a leader. Everything else that you're hearing right now is a sham. You know why it's a sham? Because you don't know any of the information. And you know what this country's really missing? This country's really missing communication.
Yes.
That's what this country's missing. Until you sit there and communicate with this man, I bet you if 80% of y'all met this dude right here and had a conversation with him, like a real sit down and a conversation with him, your perspectives would change. But the reason why your perspectives don't change is because you're scared. And you know what I call those people? Computer media hogs. They sit there and they just want to listen to the media and complain. Make a change. Make a difference. That's the difference between real leaders and people that sit here and just gloat and just say something and follow the leader. I don't like that. I don't. That's why when you just said that, that really ticked me off because you know what? I don't care what anybody's going to say about me. I love everybody. I'm here to try to get support. If you don't want to give support and you want to hate on me, go ahead. Because you know why? I'm not hating on you. That's all I need to say.
That's awesome. That's a great message. And I think it's a message that a lot of people need to hear. I always say, some people have had family issues. You come out, you say you're a Trump supporter, half your family decides you're a terrible person.
Yeah, I seen that.
And it happens. And it's happened to a lot of people. And I say, unfortunately, you know what? That's their loss. I don't believe you should be judging. Now, family's a little different. They probably know you a little better than a random person or a counter-protester or somebody on social media who saw a post. But I certainly don't believe in judging a person before I know who that person is, before I know what their morals are like, before I know, what kind of moral compass they have. I'm not just going to look at someone and go, you're a racist because you're wearing a MAGA hat, or you're a white supremacist because you said something about education. I'm not going to make a judgment or a claim, especially something like that, about another human being unless I know that person's character. What do you think about that?
I think you're absolutely right. I think, honestly, if you want to wear a MAGA hat, put on a MAGA hat and show your support to what you believe in. I'm tired. But no, it's not, man. You guys got to stop all of this. You guys got to stop all this trying to basically manipulate people's minds and their set. It is what it is. If you're going to have an opinion, have an opinion. I look at that and I just say that's stupid. You know why it's stupid? It's because when we were growing up, right, we learned to respect every man until he disrespects you to your face. Not somebody that's going to sit there and be like, well, no. Real men sit there and handle their situations and their problem like men. They go see each other. They talk it out like men. They don't run and they don't sit there and start talking and talk. If you don't know the person or even really know the person, like sit down with the person and had eye to eye with the person, why do you want to talk about another person? I never understood that. I never talk about nobody. I don't need to, because you know why? I feel like, you know what? Everyone should have a chance. Hey, like the law.
The law.
You know the law.
That's it.
Guilty.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Exactly.
Right.
So if we're supposed to be about an American and we're trying to change this, okay, cool. Some laws, let's be real, need to be changed.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
If I say a couple of laws, you're going to be like, you know what? You're right.
Sure. That's the point of government. The government is supposed to keep the laws up to date with the people.
But it's our fault. Hold up real quick. It's our fault as Americans because we let it get this way. We let them manipulate us. We let them split us up. But you know what? Now you're going to see the ripple effects happen. And they're seeing the ripple effects happen for their mistakes no matter what. I don't care whatever side they're on. I'm being real with y'all right now. You could say, oh, Democrats are messing up or Republicans are messing up. No, we're messing up as Americans, splitting each other.
Yep.
That's the real message. That's what we need to start showing our kids. And you're saying with the school curriculum,
Yeah.
go back to the same curriculum, but at the same time, have the kids have a choice if they want to study more. Like when we were younger, we had something called social studies and we had something called advanced social studies. If you wanted to advance your education, you had the right to, because why? We live in America.
Correct.
We live in the land of the free. You're not free when you do something stupid. That's it. Get over yourself.
You're not free when you do something stupid. On that note, I'm going to transition into this song you had sent. It's out, right? It's available. Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam is the name of the song. And then I have one more question for you after Uncle Sam, but I'm going to put it on. I'm going to play some of it now because I've got it ready to go. So this is Uncle Sam by ENJETIC, and take a listen. Wait, I'm sorry. I don't know if it's playing. Now, there we go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, one nation.
Now that you're
about how they take this,
the president's name, they erased it.
Hear a chant screaming, go Brandon. Screaming out,
Now upper-handed.
Civil War
We coming.
Right inside your
Mind.
Police defunded.
Funded.
People laughing at huh? Take a minute and pause. Think about the war.
That's about to hit. The United States.
America.
Uh-huh.
We praise the leaders.
Praise it. Come on.
People out here, how their pockets bleeding.
Bleeding.
Damn, feeling like escaping the Sweden. Now all of a sudden they thinking out what we really see.
Come on.
Looking at June 16th and that's the way we civil. Split up. Looking at everybody trying to really get up. Kinda funny, through the flags up in the sky. If you're really American, please. And if you're not, but believe in the red and blue, then listen to me. Understand life been blackout. Looking at the game to find. To the whole entire world, we need to stop being colorblind. If we're not colorblind, the color that we see is the color.
So that was a preview of the song Uncle Sam by ENJETIC. I would where can people find that song?
They can find it on Spotify, my Spotify. They can go to energetic.com. It's ENJETIC.com.
ENJETIC.com. You can find the song Uncle Sam. What inspired you to write that song?
What's happening? Like, everyone wants to sit here and just be so mad about America and mad about what's going on. Man, this is what you like to call a teaching session. Like, we're sitting here and we have to learn each other again. I'm looking at like, why? I'm like, why are we sitting here and we've been to so much no matter what. All of our families have been to so much these past years. And we're sitting here and we're still fighting over what? Spilled milk?
Yeah.
Something that happened years ago?
Yeah.
That we weren't even born for? Listen, I got to be real honest with you, man. And everyone's going to be like, why couldn't we just, June 16th, right? We should say, you know what? We should, like, I felt like they just threw it. They said, here you go. They just
What,
threw it.
Juneteenth? June 19th?
I felt,
The Black Independence Day?
you know
Yeah.
what? At the same time, they should have had that a long time ago. That's why I tell everyone, I agree on that. When they let the slaves go, they should have made it a holiday back then. Even now, okay, you know what? Boom. But again, I look at that as being like, okay, let's just keep them quiet.
This basically you want. I think it's like feeding them enough to get by, and that's about it. Just kind of
give them crumbs.
Crumbs, right? Meeting the requirement, giving them just enough, and that's it.
I felt like it wasn't no really respect. I felt like it was more kind of like, okay, can we settle up and go to war? But if you really read the playbooks and a lot of the parties, they've done this before. If you really take your time to really look in the 1800s and even in the late 1700s, this has always been a playbook. So if you don't have that knowledge as a person, you're not going to understand where's the playbook going.
When you say the playbook, because I agree with you. I think what do you mean by that?
The
What
playbook
playbook?
is basically they've done it before. It happened before. In history, it happened before in this country.
What happened?
them knocking down statues, trying to take away statues, trying to take away the history, trying to manipulate one side to making another side not like each other, giving another side more than what another side has to starve them. They've done it before.
It's happened a lot in this country.
But you guys don't. But to the average person thinking this is brand new, this is old. This is an old game they play. It's in their playbook. You know? And it's kind of funny if you don't really realize it. It's not them giving you really an accomplishment. It's them going, we have to give them something or they're going to run away from us.
Right.
So it's not really, it's a disrespectful thing that everyone keeps thinking that is respectful. It's not respectful.
Let me ask you a question, ready? You have a dog?
I had one, yes.
You had one? Okay, so let me ask you this. I'm going to make this example. I don't know if you've ever used this example or heard this example before. When you had your dog or if you have a dog, if you were to feed it only treats, what do you think would happen to that dog?
It would just want treats.
That's all it would do, right?
But that's what...
But how does a dog get treats, though?
When he does something good.
When it does a trick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you give a dog only treats, it's just going to want treats. Do you think that dog is going to be healthy at all? No, of course not, right?
But that's the thing, though. How many people do you see right now that are healthy?
Well,
How many people do you see that is not mentally crazy?
Right.
How many do you see people that's on more medicine than ever? Like it's funny because the pharmaceutical companies right now are winning more than anything.
Oh.
And until people realize, until people really sit there and actually realize you guys right now, I'm in the same predicament as y'all. We're sitting here right now and we're just test dolls. We're test dummies for an even worse accident that can happen, because what's going to happen is the playbook is happening right in front of us. What's going to happen is they're going to cause more mayhem and more destruction to piss people off.
Mm-hmm.
When that hits, that causes the ripple. When the ripple hits, that's going to cause the effect. And the effect is going to happen is people are going to die from it, because it's going to be another war between our countries, because what happens is everyone can play like everyone's good and happy, but people have something called an ego in this war. And the ego is, we told you we were going to get rid of you. And we told you we were going to throw you out. See, one thing I got to say about Trump. Trump saw the playbook hitting in the agendas. And what he was trying to do was he was trying to push that away. And that's why they got rid of him quick. Why can't anybody do certain things are not adding up? I don't care. I'll go on any radio and I'll say how I feel. Nothing is adding up in these days of time. We're supposed to be happy. We're happier being more poor, but we weren't happy being more rich. I never understood that. Like, you're a worker, I'm a worker. You would open up your check, and what would you see in your check? Money.
Right.
When you open up your check now, what do you see more? Minuses. So where is the average person sitting there and going, yo, enough is enough?
And it's not just the taxes.
And think about the music. And this is what I was telling some. They're putting the worst people in the front right now to represent cultures because they want to make people more angrier. That's why you see more shooting happening, more killing happening, more crime happening. Because if they do that and we're divided, you know how much money these people are making? They're making fortunes out of you. For you thinking that you're sitting there making money, you're not even rich. Okay? All them gangster, I'm going to say something right now. All them gangster rappers, you're not gangster. Wake up. The government controls your life. Oh, well, you know, no. You're going to jail. Okay? The real gangsters are the ones that stay out of jail. The real people are the ones that do the right thing. That's why I wrote a record called years ago, 9 to 5. Blue collar worker, right? I love that record. That record showed happiness, because when I did that record showed soul. It showed even if we're hard, we're America, man. We're built. We're hard workers. You know what I mean? Resilient. I'm seeing these dudes, these kids going, I'm so cool, man, waving the gun, and you're like, why?
That's true.
Like, why?
You get someone killed.
Dude, why would you sit here and divert back to the thing that you don't want? Oh, it's being hunted. You don't understand. No, I understand something. The information that you were fed, brother, was the dumbest thing that you can. I don't want to glorify this. I don't glorify killing. These one of the top Billboard hits was somebody talking about another man getting killed.
That's terrible.
But you know what's funny? Let's bring it up. The time when everybody was unifying, that comes out. But back in our day, if we had something like that, knock on the door, locked up, police throwing, or censorship.
Right.
So it's people who listen to this. It's a mind manipulating game right now. They're playing with y'all.
Yeah,
But you can't let it get to you. What you have to do is you have to figure out the people that are really gonna be there for you, or the people that's just eating into your pockets. Because we're not figuring it out right now as American people. Because you gotta remember too, you have all these people that need jobs from these people. So they're not gonna sit there and they don't realize if they cut their hands and cut the cord, they could change the whole system and really, bring it back. That's how I look at it.
You mentioned you had some experience with, you've met Donald Trump before, right?
Yes.
And, there are a lot of people who call him a racist and call him all sorts of terrible things. Did you ever have, what was your experience like with Donald Trump?
Just a normal guy, man. Just a guy sitting there just doing what he wanted to do, believed inside the country and loved the country. Like, we were in the Trump Towers. My uncle, shout out to Frank and shout out to Juan. I can't say the other guy's name because
I get it. I get all that.
But,
for sure.
But he was coming, the escalator coming down. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, everybody was like, "What's up?" Boom, shook his hand. Boom, shook his hand. He said one of the illest things to me ever. He said, "What are you?" I said, "Puerto Rican." He said, "No." He said, "You're an American."
Trump said that to you?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Because you know why? He knew what they were going to hit him with.
Mm.
That's all I got to say. When I seen him, I was just like.
So, and he didn't know you from a hole in the wall, right? When you met him the first time, and he was just a normal dude, right? He's a New Yorker. You know what he is? He's a New Yorker. He accepts everybody.
Put this up. When you're a New Yorker, okay, how the hell can you be racist? I never understood that. I'm like, you live in a damn melting pot. Your cousin down the goddamn block is wilding out, screaming. Oh, man. He lived in Queens. Yeah. That man is from Queens. And then he had to go through Manhattan every day in the subways with these crazy fools. Oh, because of one incident happened and the man said people should be locked up like everybody else did, you're going to bring that all the way back and say that man's a racist because homeboys were different. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. With a racist, I'll tell you one thing, though. I seen a racist in front of my eyes. He called me the S word, and he said, I hate your kind and I hate your people. Now, that's a racist.
That's a racist.
That's somebody I can't be next to. But do I think Trump was a racist? Hell no. Do I think the media destroyed him? Hell yeah. And you know what's a shame, too? Hey, Hillary, I want you to hear this right now.
Wait, let me preface this by saying ENJETIC didn't kill himself. He's going after Hillary, and he's about to say something. He feels fine. You feel fine, right?
I don't care.
Good. Okay, go ahead. You spout off on Hillary Clinton right now.
Hillary, the way to win an election is not to sit there and keep smearing your opponent. We understand. You know what I mean? You got to give yourself more credit. You're sitting here, and this ain't no diss to Hillary. This ain't no diss to Bill. This ain't no diss to none of them. Have a fair election with people and treat people the same exact way that you want to be treated. That's the only thing that pissed me off with Hillary. Everything was about this. Everything was about that. Trump is about this. Trump. Grab the. Is this?
We could not say the word, but we understand what Trump said. Grab them by the you know where is what you're
exactly.
I get you, right?
So he got more
sometimes
women.
Children that watch, unfortunately.
He got more women to support him from saying that. Okay.
It's kind of strange, isn't it?
No, it's not. Women love when a man just shows his I don't care.
Well, there is actually a certain amount of truth to that. There is a masculinity. And listen, I mean, the guy was on the bus. He was on a bus with a friend. He called it locker room talk. It is. Guys talk like that.
Man, how many times
guys talk like that?
Hold up.
How many songs in your genre?
How many bars are you going to and a woman's not doing that?
Right. You're right.
Get out of here, man.
And I'm not saying that's the way you should treat women.
We're all men.
I'm not saying that's the way you should treat women or what your goals should be.
Listen.
However, if a guy says it in private to his friend on a bus, does that mean he hates women? I actually think it means he likes women too much. I think he likes them a little too much.
When I heard that, I was like, you know what? That's really energetic. No, I'm not. I'm a male.
Right.
Sorry. That's how males talk. You girls talk behind closed doors. I bet you Hill was saying something behind closed doors. And that was it, because I don't want to really get on crazy stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to go too crazy, right? We don't want to get too far, but that's always a good topic. But
No, I'm just really disappointed in the tactics that people had to use just to smear somebody that nobody even knew.
Right.
See, everybody was like, yeah, I know, blah, 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 you met him, blah, 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 here. You know, that was just a tactic he was using against you. I'm like, no. You know, I been in politics in a long time as an advocate. I met the fakest people you can ever think of. But at the same time, homeboy was generous because I never had anybody ever say that to me. Generous. I never had anybody ever say that to me. Because you know what that made me feel? That man was ready to step up and take over the country. That's what that made me feel. And I don't care. You can be like, yo, energetic, we ain't listening. Cool. You don't want it? It is what it is. I'm not going to sit here anymore, and I'm not going to be scared and censor myself because you want me to censor. No, it's not happening anymore. Uncle Sam is to say, stop censoring, stop being scared, and get your out there, and let's make a difference, and let's make a change. We don't need this anymore.
On that note,
hey,
man, we've been at it for a little bit here. So I want to thank you for coming. I really do. I appreciate it. ENJETIC, where can people find you? What's the best way to find you with social media and all that?
Find me at energeticjust.com. Everything's going to be there, social media. And I want everyone to hear this, though. We need both sides to hear this. No matter the opinions of people, no matter the experience of people, we need to change each other. And it's not trying to say, oh, Biden's the best, Trump was the best, this person, Hillary's the best. You know what? That's your opinion. If you love that person and you really believe in that person was the best leader, you should have that. You know what I mean? This is our opinion as men. Even if we had a woman and the same thing, that's her opinion. Until we start giving our opinions back to each other and at the same courtesy and respect, things will change. We have to bring it back to our grandparents' time. Things will change. Listen, you might get mad at me. Some people might get mad at me. And you know what? I can't apologize for what I believe. That's called America. Believe in America. That's all I got to say. And thank you for listening to me and everything today. I hope I gave you guys information. And I hope I made everybody be like, you know what? Make a change, you know? And I love everyone, and thank y'all for giving me the time, and thank you for letting me be on the podcast and everything.
Yeah, you got it, man. We really appreciate you coming down, and I think our supporters are going to, I mean, if they don't already know you, because you are well known out here, you've been doing it for a while, I think they're really going to appreciate how passionately you spoke from the heart. You didn't pull punches, but at the same time, your message wasn't lost by being crazy or incendiary or discriminatory or derogatory towards other people. I think your message is great. I think more people need to hear it, and even more importantly than just hear what you have to say, I think more people need to repeat and live by what you just said if we want to bring this country back. ENJETIC.com, ENJ.
No, ENJ.
ENJETIC.co. That's .com. ENJETIC.com. This is the man right here, the legend, ENJETIC, Long Island's own. I love that hat. It's really nice. You got the 2 Long Island wings on there. We'll hook you up with some merch. We'll get you some Loud Majority stuff. You can pop that on, wear it. You get to take it around the stores and stuff, and people will go, hey, I know those guys. And you'll say, yeah, I was on your podcast. It was pretty cool. The dude was half asleep when I walked in. He's tired.
What I'm gonna say is, you know what? He's a good dude. I don't want to hear no other people's opinions about homeboy. I met him, and this is my own opinion about him. You can't change an opinion that you have somebody. When you first meet somebody, my grandfather always taught me something. And R.I.P. to my grandfather. He taught me first opinions mean everything, because that's how you will feel out a person. No matter what, you will feel out a person knowing if a person's real or a person's fake. That's all I got to say.
Thanks so much, ladies and gentlemen. ENJETIC, ENJETIC.
And happy birthday out the, because you're going to be watching this on your birthday. Go ahead. Tell her.
Yeah, it's a happy birthday, and it's going to be a great time. We're going to be putting this episode up. It'll be up Sunday, December 12th. So you will see it going up there. ENJETIC, once again, thank you so much for joining us. Until the next Sunday or interview special that we do. We say it all the time to everybody, the 4 words over and over and over again that we repeat until the people in power get it or get out of the way. And those 4 words, they're written on my shirt, are we will not comply. Okay? We will not comply. So once again, thank you so much for folks for watching. ENJETIC, thanks for joining us. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stop complying. Stop complying. And stay loud.